President Woodrow Wilson said, "America was established not to create wealth, but to realize a vision, to realize an ideal, to discover and maintain liberty among men." I like that a lot. I think that in a very simple and elegant way states why we celebrate things like Loyalty Day still today.
On May 1st, 1930, 10,000 VFW members staged a rally at New York's Union Square to promote patriotism.
It's all about upholding the foundations and the traditions that made this country great, which were freedom, democracy, a Republican form of government in which people have a voice and can engage directly. All of those things are so important to continuing to maintain a strong society and strong communities. And so it's really important, again, that we encourage our youth to find their vocation, consider their vocation, and in a lot of ways, a lot of times that will include some form of public service.
I've been a social studies teacher for almost 35 years now. The vast majority of that time I've been a teacher at the junior high school right here in Norfolk, teaching civics and American studies.
Patriotism means to me to be proud of our country and love it for who it is and what it is. Because they've served for us. They've been there for us. And that is really good and really helpful for us.
Patriotism means being a loyal citizen, respecting our country, and honoring veterans who served for our country and following the laws.
Patriotism means to me that respecting our country and being a good citizen.
I wanted to, find a purpose that was bigger than just myself. So I decided to join the military because I knew that it would be challenging and tough, and that I would be able to do things that not a lot of other people are able to do.
I chose to serve because, one, the benefits, but also because of family pride. My grandfather served during the Vietnam War as a drill sergeant, and I wanted to, one, get a taste of the real world, but also be able to come home and pursue my passion in medical field. So never lose your pride in the fact that you wear a uniform like this and it says U.S. Army. You never step back down from a fight, because if they're questioning your morals, always be strong in what you believe. I put on this uniform with pride because I believe I'm making a difference.
Proud to be a soldier, proud to wear the uniform, be part of what it stands for. I've learned skills that help you in the job world of finding jobs and dealing with people.
I chose to serve sort of out of legacy. My father was in the service for 22 years. I had an older brother that also served, and then my twin and I decided to join together. In some ways to continue that tradition, and in another way being the only woman to do it in my family as a way of showing that women could also be in powerful positions.
So I was 17. I was a junior in high school when I chose to enlist in the Army National Guard. I enjoyed the people I served with. I enjoyed the mission that I supported. I did a lot of really cool things in the early part of my life, and I appreciate everything that the Army provided for me and subsequently provides for my family.
I'm proud of myself, for stepping up to do this, not just for college, but for America. Just yesterday, we did a lot of land navigation. Before that, we did water survival training. These are lifelong skills, so it's interesting and it's gonna come in handy, hopefully.
As an educator, where do you see the importance of civics education?
Well, it's teaching them not only the history of how our government was built and how it has changed over time and shifted to meet the needs of the people. I think it also teaches them the importance of being registered voters, being informed voters, I think is maybe the most important. Also with that, learning reliable sources.
We went through a lot of effort to turn the tables on the monarchy. We don't work for the government works for us. So make it work for you. Be the person that contacts your elected official. Be the person that steps up to defend our country against its enemies. Be the person that is the informed and involved voter, and informed and involved in your community at large.
There are other countries that don't have the freedoms that we have, and we have it really good here. And we need to not forget that, you know, it could not be good, you know, if we don't have the military that we have. We need it to keep going. We need more people signing up and, you know, willing to make that sacrifice. I wanted to be self-sufficient, you know, I wanted to do things on my own. And that was the way I thought I could do it. And I did very well.
I think patriotism means honoring the veterans who made sacrifices for our freedom.
It means loving my country and working hard and making it a great place to live.
Through a resolution adopted in 1949, May 1st evolved into Loyalty Day. Observances began in 1950 on April 28th and climaxed May 1st when more than 5 million people across the nation held rallies. In New York City, more than 100,000 people rallied for America. In 1958, Congress enacted Public Law 529, proclaiming Loyalty Day a permanent fixture on the nation's calendar. The VFW Auxiliary has stated that we realize that our freedom is truly unique, and that is why we take pride in it.
Yeah, respect is a big thing. I can definitely see, like, you see among the ranks, and as you move up and like people get like the badges they put on and everything, you can do it.
I also then moved on and got my master's degree in business, and so I am very thankful for the military for providing that for me. The other goals that I wanted to do some traveling. I wanted to meet people that I wouldn't have probably otherwise met, and I definitely accomplished all those things.
When I was department president, that was an exciting year for me. Not only did I get to meet so many people, I did go to Washington, D.C. and see our national commander testify before Congress to talk about the needs of our veterans and what is important to them. The kids need to know that there are veterans who made this country what it is, the freedom of speech, the right to assemble. How can we honor that? Well, with loyalty, pledging allegiance to our flag, marching down our streets in a parade carrying an American flag. That teaches them the importance of why we do what we do.
For a lot of high school kids who sign on immediately their junior year, they go to basic right away that summer and then have to go back to school. So then they go to RSP, which is essentially where you go and learn some like other the basic stuff. And then once they're got back to that next summer, once they graduate or are able to go back, they'll go back and finish their AIT training. And then after that, they'll go into the National Guard.
Really, I'm just proud of being able to serve the country. I'm not only in the military, but I'm in the Nebraska National Guard. I have a dual mission for supporting our country, but also supporting the state. Throughout my military career, my goal has been to make myself better, rise to a higher level, higher standard, to increase my skill sets, my knowledge base, my leadership skills.
Something that I've learned that there are so many different people from different backgrounds in all stages of life that can just come together, and eventually they have to learn to work together as a team. I know that the Space Force is a relatively new branch, so they're getting a lot of things like the rules, their policies, everything like that. Something like growing up that I've always wanted to do is be an astronaut, because I love space. And though the Space Force might not travel to space, it just might be a cool thing to be part of that smaller section of individuals.
I grew up in a low-income family, didn't have a lot of aspirations to go to college and stuff, and I've always appreciated the military, you know, growing up, and it just felt like the right thing to do. That was one thing I learned, was to be able to change to situations, you know, roll with the punches and everything. The thing I'm most proud of is just being successful in my career. I do 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks out of the year, but I'm a soldier every day. I'm on call 24/7 when I'm on duty. I have a truck go down, I'm there. I'm on the side of the road. I'm the one that's facing that possible danger, but my ultimate goal day to day is to make sure every soldier gets home safe to their families, and I do the same thing, you know. And, you know, last but not least, equipment. You know, I want to make sure equipment gets home safe too.
My grandpa has served in the military. He was in Vietnam.
My dad served in the military and helped guard planes during 9/11.
Well, it's always important to know what your country's gone through and how they've gotten where they've gotten, the good things that have happened, the bad things that have happened, and just knowing where we come from.
In the parades, like a lot of schools would be in them, and I know in class we would like always do like different activities to learn about Loyalty Day and everything that has happened in our country.
When they come to programs at school and they bring the flags out, you know, I wish the kids knew how important that was, you know, how your hand over your heart and respect for the flag, you know, we need that. And I love it when we have the Veterans Day programs and to hear some of the stories, very moving.
I'm very glad that the revival and the renewal of Loyalty Day is happening and that you're working directly with our school systems, both public and private, so they can participate, and that youth really has a strong understanding of how important it is to keep the traditions of our country alive. And the first line in doing that is engendering a spirit in which people are willing to sacrifice for their country, and that is what those in the military do, the very nature of it.
If you were in the Army, what would you do? What kind of job would you want?
To help people.
To help people? There's lots of cool jobs that help people in the Army. It's pretty cool.
Happy Loyalty Day. I'm sorry I can't be there in person to celebrate. On Loyalty Day, we acknowledge and celebrate how blessed we are to live in the land of the free and the home of the brave. America wouldn't be free without the men and women who fought for and served our country over the years. It is their sacrifices that have made America great. George Washington once said, and I quote, "The harder the conflict, the greater the triumph," end quote. Thanks to the 18 million vets across the country who endured some of the worst conflicts in history, we are able today to enjoy living in the freest, most prosperous country in the history of the world. Thanks to these patriots and the continued sacrifices of successive generations, America remains strong and free. On Loyalty Day, I want to encourage you to take a moment to remember how exceptional our country truly is, and to thank our veterans and our servicemen and women for their sacrifices. Once again, happy Loyalty Day. God bless America, and God bless all those who have served and everyone currently serving.
This land is the land of the free because of the many freedoms we enjoy. The freedom of religion, of speech, of assembly. But what it all comes down to is that we have the freedom of choice. The purpose of Loyalty Day is to demonstrate our patriotism, our support for our unique tradition of freedom. Showing our pride in America can be done on more than just Loyalty Day or the 4th of July. We can demonstrate our loyalty throughout the year by helping our country be the best it can be.